Okay, let's talk about the speaking and my actual presentation when I did this. Keep in mind, I'm not talking about perfection. In this course, I'm not really talking about IELTS strategy. I am a little bit because it all talks about the strategy, but what I'm focused on is the fluency aspect. We're going to talk right now about certain expressions and ways to help your story come together, using my examples from before. So the question is, describe a piece of art you like, and you should talk about what the work of art is, when you first saw it, what you know about it, and explain why you like it. Remember, very important, answer all of the questions. You have to address all 4 points. You don't have to go in order, but make sure you talk about them. Make sure you answer them sufficiently. That could affect your score. I want to point out 2 very important things that will really help your fluency and really take you to the next level, wherever you are in your English. These 2 things will take it to the next level. And I'm talking about fluency builders and using your words and your voice to come together. Now, first let's look at fluency builders. You've heard me talk about this before. If you take lessons with me, you know I talk about this a lot. And if you see my YouTube videos, you know I talk about this a lot. If you take my courses, you know I talk about this a lot because this is one of the most important keys to fluency and sounding fluent. These are fluency builders. I call them fluency builders anyway. And I'm talking about things like what I said here. Okay, I'd like to talk about a painting that's in the entrance of my daughter's school. How I started out. Okay. Or you could start out, well, let's see. Any of these things that don't really have a meaning, they're the ones that speak the loudest for fluency. Imagine I didn't say okay. I'd like to talk about a painting that's in the entrance of my daughter's school. I'd like to talk about the painting in my daughter's school. That's good. But that okay, it's kind of like how music fades in and fades out. It kind of gets the ear ready. It fades in what you're about to say. Let's go to the next one. It's early in the evening after the workday. They're sitting in the office, standing in the middle of the field. Notice I made an error when speaking. That's not the important part. What happened after I made the error? That's the important part. Here's a very important thing to remember. You don't have to be perfect. You're not asked to be perfect. You're not expected to be perfect. So the question is, what happens after we make the error? If we make an error, when we make an error, what do? Well, correct it or not correct it and just move on. That's the most important thing you can do when you misspeak. You see, I said the wrong word. Well, okay, just correct it and correct it using a fluency builder. That's perfect. They're sitting in the field. Well, no, actually, they're standing in the field, right? You can correct an error smoothly and kind of make it seem like it was on purpose or kind of make it seem like you're showing yourself even more fluent after an error. That's something to try when you practice. So here's what I'd like you to try to do. I'd like you to take a stopwatch, and we all have stopwatches on our phones. Open up the clock app and set it for 2 minutes. Then I'd like you to simply answer this question in your own language and see how you do. I'd also recommend you record yourself when doing this. These fluency builders are to help you speak smoothly. Also, you can stop by languagegalaxyacademy.teachable.com and sign up. You can enroll for free and get free email lessons. On Mondays, I'm going to give a general language learning tip, and on Saturdays, I'm going to take different errors, common errors from that week. And then I'll send those in the email, and you can see if you can correct these errors.